not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hey guys, StarCraft and Ingrid here, back again.
Hello!
Yep, as we're going to be talking about Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. And like I said before, the introduction to Godzilla's great rival.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
And and this was the first movie we had was the kaiju team-ups.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a big new element this movie brought in.
Definitely, and I gotta say the movie was pretty good.
It definitely was pretty good. It's keeping hold with the momentum. I'd say this, yeah, it was interesting to see, hey, we're getting some of these kaiju teaming up. We're getting more of like a feel for the monster ecosystem, but there were some elements that just feel like they came out of left field or could have been handled a lot better.
It definitely feels
Let's
like...
go and address the elephant in the room first. Martian possessed Japanese princess?
What?
Like, the backstory is pretty neat. Like, okay, Ghidorah is enough of a bad dude that he ruined a Martian civilization, but did you really have to possess a Japanese princess that some other bad guys are trying to execute in order to deliver that plot point? That was just one of the things that just kinda had me going, the whole movie.
Oh yeah, and I'll be honest, as great as this is, and as definitely evil and well handled as Ghidorah is here, it did feel a little disjointed.
Yeah, it's just like, there's a sort of a lot going on here, where sometimes it's just like, the whole it's really good, but it's just, sometimes it's really difficult to follow. Like, we have Rodan showing up, and now Rodan is fighting Godzilla. Oh, now we've got Mothra. Now we've got the warnings about Ghidorah. Now we've got Ghidorah. Yep, Rodan and Godzilla are too busy having a frat boy fight in order to go address the real threat, so Mothra has to be the big
Why is like, hey you two, knock it off!
Hey, if you want to vent your kaiju aggression, go do it on the thing that's going to ruin your stomping grounds.
Although I was gonna say, like, as long as you're not fighting over me. Yep. But one second.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised that Mothra didn't
say that. Even though you can definitely tell their data, the special effects around the entrance of Ghidorah was still pretty damn awesome. Seeing like all the flames coalesce and then boom, big three-headed dragon.
Yep. Although to be fair, I have to wonder what happened to the second larva.
Yeah, what happened to them?
Although, apparently, according to one bit of Japanese book of lore, supplemental material, it did die. Likely from the beating it received from being ripped around by Godzilla's tail.
Aww.
Although, to be fair, you have enough monsters, you don't need the twin.
That's fair enough. I mean, it was... Twin served purpose. Goodbye, poor guy.
Yep. Or girl. No, girl.
Or girl, whatever it was.
Well, the other thing I would also say is that I'm surprised we didn't see it evolve into a full-grown Mothra.
Yeah, that one is a little bit surprising. I mean, just sort of like the general rule of just like, hey, you don't try not to do the same thing twice if you can help it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although, I will say, the fact that we do see a little bit of nobility from Godzilla when Ghidorah starts to attack Mothra, it's like, hey now!
Like, hey, even I have standards, and that's screwed up.
No, like, I mean, I only fought them because they came at me!
Yeah, and it's just sort of a hint that, hey, maybe there's a bit more to Godzilla than we would have first assumed.
Exactly. And again, and I also like that between Godzilla and Rodan, who this is their first time meeting, but there's a bit of a, yeah, like you said, frat boyness, but a little bit of a respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, and but here's a big question you gotta ask. Do you think they all joined, those two joined in this help humanity out of the goodness of their heart, or do you think it was just simply an enemy mine?
I think at this point it's probably more of an enemy mine.
That's
like,
what I thought.
Character development tends to happen slowly when it's done, and gradually when it's done well.
Mm-hmm. But
although
yeah.
I'm really struggling to think of how you would deliver the Martian backstory that didn't involve some random Japanese princess getting possessed. Like, hey, maybe you have a meteor with some Martian-like stuff falling, or whatever.
Although to be fair, that's only the Martian stuff is only in the American version. In Japan, it was Venus.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
Still kind of crazy though.
Yeah, it's just like, I think it would have been easy enough to, yeah, maybe have a bit more of a meteor shower and like just sort of have like, hey, what are these bits of like random debris? Ooh, hey, this is from a civilization that got destroyed. And the thing that was destroyed, it looks suspiciously like the monster that showed up on our doorstep.
And I want to say this, if you're going to have any point that might start Godzilla to help humanity, it would have to be King Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what did you think about King Ghidorah in this first thing? The fact that he is the full-on big bad.
Well, he definitely had an intimidating presence. It's just like, hey, to the point where it's just like you kind of have everyone scrambling, where it's just like, I really like the scene where they were debating like, oh, we've got Godzilla, oh, we got Rodan, oh, we got Mothra, and then it's just like Ghidorah shows up and everyone just scatters.
Yep, and I will just say this, Godzilla and Rodan, they usually have excuses for their destruction. They've never shown to be malicious. Well, think about it. Has Godzilla ever truly shown to be malicious?
Usually the stuff just happens to be in his way most of the time. It's more indifference than it is malice.
But not Ghidorah.
Ghidorah is a different beast entirely, and Godzilla's just like, hey, this is just my turf, man. You're just an asshole.
And again, going after a baby?
It's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah. And again, I love how they carried that over in the Godzilla King of the Monsters, the Monsterverse version.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because I was basically like, he loves it. He loves to kill and maim.
Yeah, Godzilla's just kind of like a force of nature. Like, a hurricane isn't going to be prejudiced against you.
Exactly. Whereas Ghidorah, oh no. He wants to. He's like, yes. I mean, the fact that, again, he went after Mothra, the fact that he wiped out an entire civilization.
It's just like, that's not something you do by accident.
No.
Tearing up a city block because you're huge and it happens to be in a way.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but yeah. Ghidorah is just another thing entirely.
Exactly. So,
and I'm interested to see how that ends up working out going forward.
Well, you'll find the next one, because the next one is a direct follow-up.
Oh boy, that ought to be interesting.
But it's also when Ghidorah starts to be controlled by other beings, and it's going to be the start of our, aliens are invading! Won't be the last time that we get that.
Oh dear.
But again, it's still considered a good one. Some say it might be better than this one. It's up for debate.
I guess we'll just have to see for ourselves next time.
Yep. So what would you rank this one? An 8?
I would give that an 8 out of 10, yeah. It's just
Yep.
like good, solid overall, but there were definitely some bits that
Hiccups.
were sticking out a bit more.
Yep. So until then, we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya!
Okay. Hold on.